Good morning, students. In the previous lecture, we studied about the making of Indian Constitution. Making of Indian Constitution was a democratic process, and each chapter of the Constitution was a result of long discussion. And today we are going to study inheritance of the nationalist movement. Inheritance of nationalist movement. Before independence, India was a colony of Britishers. India got freedom after a long struggle against British rule. Struggle for independence established many principles. These principles were the base of our nationalist movement. The Constituent Assembly gave concrete shape and form to the principles it had inherited from the nationalist movement. You are looking main points of the objectives resolution. Objective resolution. Constitution makers set up main objectives features before starting to make constitution. That collection of points was called objective resolution. In another way, we can say the best summary of the principles that the nationalist movement brought to the Constituent Assembly is the objective resolution, means the resolution that defined the aim of the assembly. Means our freedom fighters or nationalist leaders set up many rules and regulation, many norms for Indian government and for Indian constitution. And you are looking on the screen. These are main points of the objective resolution. And I am going to tell you the summary of these points. Framers of constitution expressed their vision for a new society and polity. Despite the differences of opinion, the framers reached on an agreement to be reflected in the constitution. Indian constitution was attempted to reach a goal of building a new social order on the basis of democracy, equality and justice. It also projected fundamental rights and civil liberties of Indian citizens along with fundamental duties and directive principles of state policy. Indian constitution is based on liberal welfare democratic society to be reflected in the preamble. Thus, the philosophy of Indian constitution finds its expression in the preamble of Indian constitution. And now we will discuss preamble. Preamble of Indian Constitution. Preamble of Indian Constitution is an introductory part of Constitution which enables the people to assess and evaluate the performance of government in the light of objectives laid down into the preamble. Or in a simple word, we can say preamble is showing the summary of our constitution or main point or features of the objectives of objective resolution. Preamble is an introductory part, first page of our Indian constitution, and Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar said preamble is the soul of Indian constitution. The next factor ensuring effectiveness of a constitution is the balanced arrangement of the institutions of government. The basic principle is that government must be democratic and committed to the welfare of the people. The Constituent Assembly spent a lot of time on evolving the right balance among the various institutions like the executive, the legislature and the judiciary. And this debate led to the adoption of the parliamentary form and the federal arrangements which would distribute governmental powers between the legislature and the executive on the one hand, and between the states and the central government on the other hand. For balanced institutional design, the makers borrowed a number of provisions from different countries. But borrowing these ideas was not slavish imitation. Far from it, each provision of the Constitution had to be defended on grounds that it was suited to Indian problems and aspirations or expectations. India was extremely lucky to have an assembly that, instead of being parochial in the outlook, could take the best available everywhere in the world and make it their own. As you are looking on the screen, every government has three main organs: the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. And on another picture, you can observe the judiciary has the power to make judgment on law, and executive power to put law into action, and parliament, that is legislature, power to make and change law. Means our constitution makers created a balance between these bodies, these organs of the government. And these are the collection of pictures. As you are looking in the first picture, our head of the Constituent Assembly, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, was observing the original copy of our constitution. And on the another picture, you can observe the original copy of our Indian constitution. It is present now, it is present in the parliament. If you visit parliament house, you can see this picture. This is original picture, and it is written in the italic form and in a very beautiful handwriting, with created artwork also. I hope all these points help to you understand the concept of making of constitution and the effectiveness of the constitution. Thank you and have a nice day.